Hollywood dazzles with glitz and glamour, but behind the red carpets and bright lights, some stars reveal a darker side. In this video, we uncover 17 celebrities whose off-screen behavior shocked fans and colleagues alike. From diva demands to toxic outbursts, these stories expose the human flaws beneath the fame. We'll explore what drives these actions and their lasting impact. Stick around, and let's dive into the truth behind Tinseltown's most notorious personalities. Lea Michele. Lea Michele's powerhouse vocals defined her role as Rachael Ray on Glee, earning her a legion of fans. But in June 2020, her carefully crafted image unraveled when Samantha Ware, who played Jane Hayward, posted a scathing accusation on social media. Ware claimed Michele made her time on set a living hell, citing microaggressions that left her feeling dehumanized. Most shockingly, she alleged Michele threatened to ***T in her wig, a remark that sparked widespread outrage. Other cast members soon corroborated Ware's account. Heather Morris, who played Brittany, described Michele as intimidating and admitted the set's atmosphere suffered under her influence. Davie Snell, another co-star, recounted being sidelined, saying Michele refused to share scenes with him, fostering a clique-like environment. Alex Newell and Amber Riley also hinted at tensions through cryptic posts, amplifying the narrative of a toxic set. Speculation swirled about the roots of Michele's behavior. Was it her relentless ambition to embody the show's star, or did fame inflate her ego beyond reason? When the allegations exploded online, Michele issued a public apology, acknowledging that her actions may have hurt others and detailing personal efforts to reach out to colleagues. Yet, the apology rang hollow for many as fans grappled with the contrast between her on-screen charm and off-screen conduct. The fallout forced Michele to step back from public projects, including a planned Broadway return. Her story demands for us to reflect. Can intense dedication justify creating a hostile environment? Michele's legacy, once tied to Glee's success, now carries the weight of these unresolved questions, challenging how we view stars who falter under pressure. Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's portrayal of Spider-Man cemented him as a relatable hero, but in the shadowy world of high-stakes poker, he revealed a far less heroic side. Molly Bloom, in her 2014 memoir Molly's Game, labeled Maguire the nastiest, meanest, most vicious celebrity she encountered while running exclusive poker games for Hollywood's elite. She described how he took pleasure in bankrupting opponents, mocking their losses with a cold smirk. In one humiliating incident, Maguire demanded Bloom bark like a seal for a $1,000 chip, a power play that stunned onlookers. Waitstaff at these underground games echoed Bloom's account, noting Maguire's abysmal tipping habits, often leaving mere dollars after winning thousands. Fans reported similar coldness, with one recalling a 2007 encounter where Maguire brushed off an autograph request with a curt glare. Reports from the Viper Room, a frequent poker venue, painted him as aloof, rarely engaging with dealers or players outside his inner circle. Some speculate this behavior stemmed from the competitive rush of poker, where control and dominance trumped civility. Others suggest fame gave Maguire a sense of untouchability, allowing his worst impulses to surface unchecked. He's never publicly addressed these claims, leaving his poker persona a stark contrast to his on-screen warmth. The stories raise a question. Does the pressure of stardom excuse such perceived cruelty, or does it reveal a character flaw magnified by wealth and power? Maguire's silence keeps these questions alive, casting a shadow over his once beloved image as Hollywood's friendly neighborhood hero, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's 5-octave voice has enthralled millions, but her diva demands are just as iconic. Her backstage riders read like a fairy tale gone awry. 100 white doves, 20 humidifiers, and red carpets lining hotel hallways. A 2016 report from a Beverly Hills hotel detailed Carey's insistence on rose petals scattered for every step, with staff scrambling to comply. During Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration, she reportedly stormed out when her team failed to secure a seat beside the first couple, leaving organizers stunned. Another incident saw her demand total silence before a Las Vegas show to preserve her voice, forcing crew members to communicate via whispers for hours. In a 2006 interview with The Guardian, Carey leaned into her persona, stating, "I am high maintenance because I deserve to be," framing her extravagance as earned privilege. Fans celebrate this unapologetic confidence, seeing it as a bold embrace of her stardom. Yet, service workers tell a different story, describing her as dismissive, often ignoring basic courtesies like thank yous. A 2010 charity event staffer recalled Carey refusing to mingle with attendees unless her dressing room was stocked with specific crystal glassware. This behavior sparks the question, is Carey's larger-than-life persona a justified extension of her talent, or a sign of detachment from reality and those who serve her? While her antics haven't led to any legal trouble, they've made her a polarizing figure, adored by some and criticized by others for excess. Her story invites us to consider where self-worth ends and entitlement begins in the world of celebrity. Mike Myers. Mike Myers brought joy to millions with Wayne's World and Austin Powers, but his on-set behavior often left crews exasperated. Director Penelope Spheris, who helmed Wayne's World in 1992, described working with Myers as like walking on eggshells, his mood swings creating a tense atmosphere. In one infamous incident, Myers halted production for hours over a missing bagel topping, specifically poppy seed spread, costing the studio thousands in delays. Crew members recalled his insistence on perfection, down to the placement of props, which slowed filming significantly. Spheris later revealed Myers played a role in her exclusion from the sequel, citing personal clashes masked as creative differences. A 1993 Los Angeles Times report noted similar tensions on other sets, with Myers demanding constant reassurance from directors and co-stars. Colleagues described him as emotionally needy, his perfectionism bordering on obsession, like rearranging set furniture mid-take to match his vision. While this drive fueled his comedic genius, it frustrated those around him, with one assistant director calling him exhausting to manage. Myers has never publicly addressed these accounts, leaving fans to wonder if his behavior stemmed from insecurity or an inflated sense of control. His story raises a broader question. Does artistic brilliance justify disrupting an entire production over trivial details? The bagel incident, though comical in hindsight, underscores the ripple effects of a star's demands on a collaborative art form like filmmaking. Myers' legacy remains a blend of laughter and lingering tension, a reminder that genius can come with a cost. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock's girl-next-door charm in films like Speed and The Blind Side has made her a beloved figure, but some encounters paint a less approachable picture. Fans and onlookers have consistently described her as aloof, often sidestepping interactions with an icy demeanor. A 2010 fan account from a New York City premiere detailed Bullock dismissing a photo request with a sharp wave, leaving the admirer deflated. Another report from a 2013 Los Angeles charity event called her unapproachable, noting she avoided eye contact and kept fans at a distance. Unlike headline-grabbing scandals, Bullock's reputation for coldness builds on these quiet, recurring stories from public settings. A 2015 People magazine article cited a restaurant worker who said Bullock barely acknowledged staff, leaving minimal tips despite her wealth. Some argue she's fiercely private, guarding her personal space in an industry that demands constant access. Others believe her aloofness signals a disconnect from the fans who fuel her success. Her reserved nature contrasts sharply with her on-screen warmth, raising questions about the pressures of maintaining a public persona. Does fame entitle stars to emotional distance, or do they owe supporters a degree of warmth? Bullock's lack of public response to these claims keeps the debate open, with no explosive incidents to define her but a pattern that challenges her relatable image. Sean Penn. Sean Penn's raw intensity fuels his acclaimed performances in films like Mystic River, but that same fire has sparked real-world controversies. In the 1980s, Penn's volatile temper led to multiple arrests, including a 1987 incident where he assaulted a photographer, earning him 33 days in jail for battery. Another altercation saw him punch an extra on the set of Colors, prompting a lawsuit. A 1985 Rolling Stone article detailed his clashes with paparazzi, describing Penn spitting at cameras and hurling insults during public outings. Co-stars from Dead Man Walking reported his unpredictable moods, with one crew member recalling Penn storming off set over a lighting dispute, delaying production for hours. His defenders argue this passion drives his artistry, noting his commitment to social causes like Haiti relief. Yet, critics point to a pattern of aggression that overshadows his talent, with a 1988 domestic violence accusation by then-wife Madonna adding to the scrutiny, though charges were dropped. Penn's legal troubles have waned, but his reputation as a hothead persists, with a 2010 incident involving another photographer reigniting debate. His story raises questions about the line between artistic fervor and reckless behavior. Does fame amplify a star's volatility or merely expose it? Penn's silence on many of these incidents leaves room for speculation, but his actions suggest a man wrestling with the pressures of stardom. His legacy, a blend of brilliance and belligerence, challenges us to consider how much we excuse in the name of talent. Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly's high-octane performances thrive on rebellion, but his offstage antics often blur the line between passion and chaos. At the 2021 Brazilian Grand Prix, he abruptly walked off a live interview after a journalist's question about his racing knowledge irked him, leaving the host stunned. In 2022, at a New York after-party, MGK smashed a champagne glass on his head, bleeding profusely while guests watched in shock, later posting the incident on Instagram as a badge of defiance. Another moment saw him confront a fan mid-concert, fists clenched, over a heckling comment, with security intervening to de-escalate. A 2023 Billboard report noted similar outbursts, including MGK shoving a stagehand during a tour rehearsal over a sound issue. Fans embrace his raw energy as authentic, seeing it as an extension of his punk rap persona. Critics, however, argue his behavior reflects a lack of self-control, with one music journalist calling him a liability on tour. Is MGK's rebellion a genuine expression of his artistry, or a calculated act to maintain relevance in a crowded industry? His refusal to apologize for these incidents fuels the debate, positioning him as both a rock star and a risk. MGK's knack for headlines keeps him in the spotlight, but at what cost to his reputation and those around him? Christian Bale. Christian Bale's commitment to roles like Batman is renowned, but his 2008 meltdown on the Terminator Salvation set became a defining moment. When cinematographer Shane Hurlbut inadvertently crossed his eyeline during a scene, Bale unleashed a 4-minute, profanity-filled rant, recorded and leaked to TMZ in 2009. The audio, laced with insults like amateur and threats to quit, went viral, eclipsing the film's release. A 2009 Variety article noted crew members felt intimidated, with one anonymous grip saying Bale's intensity created a tense set even before the outburst. Bale later apologized on a radio show, calling his behavior inexcusable and admitting exhaustion from the film's grueling schedule played a role. Some defended him, citing the high-pressure environment of a $100 million production, with co-star Bryce Dallas Howard praising his dedication. Others saw the tirade as a window into a volatile personality, pointing to earlier reports of Bale clashing with directors on American Psycho. The incident remains a cultural touchstone, referenced in memes and parodies, but it raises deeper questions. Can the pursuit of perfection justify such an outburst? Or does it expose a lack of professionalism? Bale's swift apology mitigated some damage, but the rant's infamy endures. Rachael Ray. Rachael Ray's warm, approachable persona on her cooking shows made her a fan favorite. But behind the scenes, some paint a less savory picture. Hotel staff and employees have accused her of sharp-tongued outbursts, with a 2012 New York Post report quoting a resort worker who claimed Ray snapped, "I need stupid people not to talk to me," when asked for directions. Fans have shared similar stories, like a 2015 encounter where Ray refused an autograph with a dismissive scoff, leaving a young admirer in tears. A former production assistant from her talk show described her berating staff over minor errors, such as a mislabeled prop, creating a fearful atmosphere. These accounts starkly contrast her on-screen charm, with a 2013 Eater article noting caterers complained of Ray ignoring basic courtesies like acknowledging service. Her defenders argue her bluntness reflects her New York roots, a no-nonsense style mistaken for rudeness. Others see it as a disconnect between her public warmth and private demeanor. Ray has never publicly addressed these claims, leaving fans to reconcile her bubbly image with these reports. Fame demands a constant performance, but at what cost to staff and supporters? Ray's legacy, built on accessibility, now carries whispers of a colder side, challenging how we view stars who thrive on relatability. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s infectious charisma in Jerry Maguire earned him an Oscar, but recent years have cast a dark shadow over his legacy. Since 2019, he's faced multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including a 2022 guilty plea to forcible touching in a New York nightclub incident. He settled a rape lawsuit from 2020 and was named in a 2023 sex trafficking lawsuit linked to a yacht party hosted by Diddy, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter. A 2019 Page 6 article detailed earlier accusations, with women claiming inappropriate touching at public events, painting a pattern of troubling behavior. Gooding has denied many claims, with his legal team arguing some were misinterpretations or consensual encounters. His once vibrant career, marked by roles in Boys in the Hood, has stalled, with studios distancing themselves. Fans who cherished his "show me the money" energy now grapple with these allegations, which contrast sharply with his on-screen warmth. The legal battles suggest a man whose charisma may have masked deeper issues, raising questions about accountability in Hollywood. Does fame shield stars from consequences or amplify their scrutiny? Gooding's fall from grace underscores the fragility of public adoration, especially when trust is broken. His story invites us to consider how talent can coexist with troubling actions, and whether redemption is possible when the spotlight reveals such flaws. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl's rapid rise in Hollywood, from Grey's Anatomy to Knocked Up, showcased her talent, but her outspokenness sparked significant backlash. In 2008, she publicly criticized Knocked Up as sexist, arguing it portrayed women unfairly, which alienated director Judd Apatow and producer Seth Rogen, as noted in a 2009 Vanity Fair interview. A year later, she withdrew from Emmy contention for Grey's Anatomy, stating the writing didn't warrant a nomination, a move producers like Shonda Rhimes deemed ungrateful. A 2010 Entertainment Weekly report highlighted crew members calling her unprofessional, citing her habit of questioning scripts on set, which delayed filming. The industry's response was swift, with Heigl's roles diminishing as she was labeled difficult. In a 2016 interview with The Washington Post, she admitted the backlash triggered severe anxiety, leading to therapy to cope with public scrutiny. Heigl's defenders argued that she was a woman asserting her views in a male-dominated industry, facing harsher criticism than male counterparts. Yet, her comments strained professional relationships, raising questions about the cost of candor. Was Heigl's honesty a bold stand, or did it reflect a lack of tact in a collaborative field? Her story challenges us to consider how Hollywood punishes those who break from the expected script, especially women navigating fame's tightrope. Jared Leto's method acting, seen in Dallas Buyers Club, is intense, but his approach on Suicide Squad pushed boundaries too far. To embody the Joker, he sent co-stars unsettling gifts, used condoms, anal beads, a dead pig, and live rats, as reported in a 2016 Entertainment Weekly article. Viola Davis, who played Amanda Waller, called the experience horrific, while Will Smith admitted discomfort but laughed it off. Margot Robbie, who received a rat, kept it as a pet, but others felt the gifts were a power play, not artistry. A crew member told Variety that Leto's antics disrupted set morale, with some staff avoiding him altogether. Leto defended his actions in a 2016 E! News interview, claiming they were meant to build camaraderie, but the backlash suggested otherwise. Was this a misguided attempt to channel the Joker's chaos, or a deliberate act to unsettle colleagues? His defenders argue method acting demands extreme measures, yet critics see disrespect in prioritizing personal process over team comfort. Leto's actions spark a broader question. Where does artistic immersion end and workplace ethics begin? Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx's versatility shines across music and film, but his behavior on the 2006 Miami Vice set revealed a diva streak. Frustrated with production challenges, Foxx walked off set, as reported in a 2006 Miami Herald article, demanding private jets and refusing to film outside the US. This forced director Michael Mann to rewrite the film's ending, scrapping planned scenes in Paraguay to accommodate Foxx's ultimatum. A crew member recalled Foxx's insistence on specific accommodations, like a private chef, which strained the budget. Co-star Colin Farrell noted in a 2006 interview that Foxx's absence disrupted morale, though he praised his talent. Defenders argue Foxx was protecting his creative vision under a chaotic shoot, but critics see entitlement, with his demands costing time and resources. Foxx never addressed the incident publicly, leaving his motivations unclear. Was this a stand for artistic control or a star flexing fame's privileges? His actions highlight the immense power celebrities wield and the ripple effects on collaborative projects. His legacy remains a mix of brilliance and the occasional shadow of disruption. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell's commanding presence revolutionized modeling, but her temper has left an equally lasting mark. Multiple assistants have accused her of physical abuse, including throwing phones and slapping, with a 2000 lawsuit detailing an incident where Campbell allegedly locked an assistant in a hotel room. In 2008, she was arrested for assaulting a police officer at Heathrow Airport, leading to a British Airways ban, as reported by BBC News. A 2007 court case saw her plead guilty to assaulting another assistant, resulting in community service. A former aide told The Guardian in 2006 about Campbell's verbal tirades, describing a climate of fear. Defenders point to the fashion industry's intense pressures, arguing her outbursts reflect a demanding environment. Yet, the consistent allegations suggest a pattern hard to dismiss. Campbell has expressed regret, citing therapy in a 2010 Oprah interview, but her legal troubles persist. Campbell's legacy, a blend of trailblazing and turbulence, invites us to consider how much we forgive in the name of iconic status, and whether redemption is possible when trust is repeatedly broken. James Corden. James Corden's infectious charm as a late-night host won global fans, but a 2022 incident at NYC's Balthazar restaurant tarnished his image. Owner Keith McNally banned Corden after he berated servers over a minor error with his wife's meal, calling him a cretin in an Instagram post. McNally cited 2 separate outbursts, including one where Corden demanded free drinks. A waiter told Page Six that Corden's tone was demeaning, leaving staff rattled. Corden apologized on The Late Late Show, admitting his comments were rude and ungracious, but fans remained divided. Some saw it as a one-off under stress, while others pointed to similar stories like a 2019 Reddit thread where event staff described Corden as dismissive at a charity gala. His defenders argue fame invites unfair scrutiny, but service workers' accounts suggest a pattern of entitlement. Corden's public mea culpa mitigated some damage, but the incident underscores how quickly a likable persona can falter. Fame demands constant performance, but how much grace do we extend when it falters? Adam Levine. Adam Levine's magnetic charisma as Maroon 5's frontman has long captivated fans, but a 2022 scandal exposed a troubling side. Instagram model Sumner Stroh claimed she had a year-long affair with Levine, while his wife, Behati Prinsloo, was pregnant with their 3rd child, as revealed in a viral TikTok video. Stroh shared screenshots of flirty DMs, including Levine's shocking request to name his unborn child after her, which sparked widespread outrage. 2 other women, Allison Rose and Marika, later released similar messages, alleging Levine's inappropriate flirtations, as reported by People in September 2022. A 2018 concert incident resurfaced, where Levine called fans ugly during a show, further fueling perceptions of arrogance. Levine issued a statement denying a physical affair, but admitting to crossing the line with poor judgment, emphasizing his commitment to his family. The backlash was swift. Fans labeled him manipulative, and celebrities like Emily Ratajkowski criticized the power imbalance in his interactions with younger women. A 2022 Rolling Stone article noted Levine's history of aloof behavior, with a former crew member describing him as dismissive to staff during tour rehearsals. His defenders argue the DMs were consensual and overblown by social media, but the public's trust wavered, tarnishing his heartthrob image. This scandal prompts deeper questions. Where does flirtation become betrayal? And how does fame distort personal accountability? Levine's actions suggest a man leveraging his status, perhaps unaware of the consequences until they went viral. His story challenges us to consider how celebrity privilege can blur ethical lines, leaving a once-adored rock star grappling with a redefined legacy. Does one mistake outweigh years of charisma, or is this a wake-up call for accountability in the spotlight? Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres built a media empire on her "Be Kind" mantra, but a 2020 BuzzFeed News expose shattered that image, revealing a toxic workplace on The Ellen Show. Former staffers alleged racist microaggressions, intimidation, and firings for taking medical or bereavement leave. One Black employee recounted being mocked for her hairstyle, while another was penalized for requesting mental health days. A cameraman described, "Ellen is terrifying off camera, claiming she avoided male staff and enforced a no eye contact rule, as detailed in a 2020 Variety follow-up." A particularly jarring story involved a producer allegedly pressuring a staffer to reschedule a child's bone marrow transplant to align with Ellen's taping schedule. These accounts stunned fans, clashing with her on-screen warmth and philanthropy. Ellen responded with a public apology, stating she was unaware of the issues but took responsibility as the show's namesake, promising internal changes. A 2021 internal investigation led to 3 producers' dismissals, but the damage was irreversible. Her show ended in 2022 after 19 seasons. And in a 2024 stand-up set, Ellen jokingly remarked she was kicked out of show business for being mean. The fallout raises profound questions. How can a public persona of kindness mask such a workplace culture? Was Ellen unaware or complicit in the toxicity? Fame amplifies expectations, but it also exposes contradictions, forcing us to reconcile a star's legacy with their failures. Ellen's journey invites reflection on whether redemption is possible when trust is broken, and how much weight we give to a single narrative in defining a career. These 17 stories peel back Hollywood's polished veneer, revealing the flaws beneath the fame. From diva demands to toxic outbursts, these celebrities show that talent doesn't always mean kindness. Fame's pressure can amplify human weaknesses, but it also raises questions. How much do we expect from our idols, and how quickly do we judge them? Which story shocked you most? Drop a comment below, like this video, and subscribe for more Hollywood truths. Share with a friend who loves celebrity insights, and check our channel for more behind-the-scenes stories. Until next time, keep questioning what lies beyond the spotlight.